June and July are over, it's time to have a look at my new toys. Hello there, welcome back to the channel. I am Grand Moff Tony. Now, today, by the magic of modern technology, I'm not actually here. I'm actually in Kentucky on vacation right now. Needs must, so we've recorded this video in advance to keep things moving. But fortunately for past me, who is also concurrently present-day me, it's at least an easy video this week because we're once again talking about the new figures added to my collection over the past couple of months. It's time for Fine Editions.
Fine addition to my collection.
Yes, welcome to the Fine Editions of June and July. We've had a fairly modest couple of months, so let's not waste any time, let's get into the new editions. First up, for an absolute steal, I was able to score the Centerpiece Ray to add to my new growing Centerpiece collection. I absolutely love these figures. I mean, they're not really figures, they're kind of dynamic statues in kind of the style of that old Star Wars Unleashed line, but just a little toned down. I really like the action pose that they went for with this Ray figure. I love the base and all of the little details that they've put in there. It's just fantastic. You would not believe that this Ray came out the same year as the other Force Awakens Rays, because this one is just so much better. I've said in the past that I am a big fan of these Centerpiece figures, so if they ever go back and do some more, I would love to pick them up because I am slowly checking them all off my list one by one. I was able to pick this up for about $15. It was an absolute steal, and it is a brilliant addition to my collection. Up next, we have the additions from my birthday toy hunt. Now, first up, we have Imperial Officer Tala. Now, I've been walking away from this figure for a while in GameStop because I just felt like, $26 is just a lot to pay for this figure, but get it for an absolute steal at Ollie's for $10, and I'm not going to walk away from that. This is an absolutely brilliant figure, and it gives me real hope for the new Dedra Meero that they announced at San Diego Comic-Con this weekend, because it's probably going to be on the same body. It's great to finally get a female Imperial officer into the Black Series, because there's so much potential for where this can go with them. I had the plan of buying 2 of these, and then when the Indiana Jones line made it to Indy 4, I was going to take the Cate Blanchett head and stick it on one of these guys to make a kind of custom Governor Price. But unfortunately, the Indiana Jones line seems to have stopped. So I guess we'll just veto that plan, and I'll just sit here and be very, very happy with my Imperial Officer Tala. She looks great. I'm very, very happy indeed. Next on that hunt was the first of my new Acolyte figures, because I was able to track down Osha Anisea. Brilliant little figure, and I love the little 2 variations of Pip that you get with this. It's great. I really like the look of this outfit from the show, even though we don't really get to see it for very long. She spends most of the series in the Jedi civilian robe, but I'm really glad we got this little Mechanic outfit out there first because it's just a great look. It's got such a grungy Star Wars look to it. Something I really dig on this figure is I love how dynamic the holster is. It actually took me a minute to figure out how to get the gun into the holster because you have to kind of finagle it in there. But that means it kind of hangs very dynamically from the figure, and that goes into making a number of really interesting poses. So I'm off to a great start with these figures. So I'm very, very happy with this one indeed. Up next was the second Acolyte figure I was able to track down this month, which is Yord Fandar. I really wanted to find Yord. I really, really enjoyed his character, and so I'm really, really pleased that this was one of the first Acolyte figures I was able to track down. I love the crisp, clear color in his yellow lightsaber blade, the way his robes really capture the kind of brown and gold look of the mission robes. It's just fantastic. And this new kind of evolved Jedi mold, I really hope this is the kind of mold we're going to see moving forwards for Jedi characters. I'm looking at you, the potential re-releases of Revenge of the Sith, Obi-Wan and Anakin. Something I wanted to draw attention to in this one is the soft goods. The soft goods feel so different. I'm not sure what it is about them, but they feel different from the other soft goods that have come before them. Now, I'm not talking about the texture on Vader's cape or Dooku's cape. I'm specifically talking about previous Jedi robes that have come in the line. Now, it's kind of a talking point on that we don't get them as often as we should, but it never really bothered me because the old Jedi robes always kind of sat kind of poofy, and they lifted off the figure. They didn't look very realistic, gave it a very doll-like appearance. Not so with Yord's soft goods. They flow very naturally down from his shoulders. His hood doesn't stick out in the back. It flows like it's supposed to, and especially in the wrists, where the robes sit in the wrists, they hang down from his wrists, which is life-changing to me because I've never been able to achieve that with previous soft goods in the line. Even a character like the Emperor, I've always had trouble with his wrist robes hanging above the figure, but that is no longer a problem, and if this is where soft goods are going, then yeah, give me some more of them because this is fantastic. Yord is an excellent addition to the collection. Up next is a real winner. I was able to track down the Revenge of the Sith Darth Sidious. Now, I have been waiting for this figure for such a long time. I was so excited when they announced him, and it is one of my favorite looks for the greatest villain in all of cinema history. The decision to combine the soft goods robes with the hard plastic hood really captures the way his robes sit in these scenes, and that's really what you want to try and capture. I have spent ages fiddling with my Emperor Palpatine figure to try and get the hood to sit the way it's supposed to try and get the robes to flow off the chair the way he's sitting. This Darth Sidious cuts all of that out. You don't need to worry about it because the robes sit perfectly on the body and the plastic hood will hold its shape forever. Honestly, I'm looking at this guy and he is probably my favorite figure of the year so far. I say that with absolute confidence. I cannot stop playing with this figure. I keep just picking him up and fiddling with him and putting him in different positions and holding out that spooky hand. Love the spooky hand. The addition of the upgraded Force Lightning hands as well, just perfect. This is an absolutely perfect Black Series figure. And if you ask me, there is no character more deserving of a figure of this caliber than Darth Sidious himself. This is fantastic. I still have my original pre-order for this Darth Sidious figure sitting on Pulse because I can't figure out how to get back into my orders on Pulse, which is kind of worrying. You know, given that I have an order for a $500 spaceship on my Pulse orders. But in all honesty, I might just let that second figure come and just have two of these guys because they are that good. I could then give one of them double lightsabers and then try and customize the other into maybe a Sith Eternal Rise of Skywalker Sidious. I don't know. Possibilities are endless. I love this figure. Fantastic addition to the collection. And finally, I got away with an absolute steal with my second HK Assassin droid. Now, I got my first of these guys for Christmas last year, and I was very, very pleased when I slapped in that Magna Guard spear and really captured what I wanted for this figure. But I didn't want to overspend getting the second one, so I've been gradually keeping an eye on the prices coming down in Maya and whatnot. He was on clearance in GameStop, buy one, get one free, so we picked up a copy of Lightside Star Wars Monopoly, and I got my second HK Assassin droid for free.
Free?
I talked about this figure at length back in the December Fine Editions. It's a great figure. The colour is a little stark, but it doesn't bother me as much as it probably should. All I have to do now is track down a second Magna Guard figure so I can get another Electro Staff. That one might prove to be a little bit more challenging. I saw the one that I bought, and I have not seen another one since. In any case, the HK Assassin droid is an excellent addition to the collection this month. So there you have it. Those were the fine additions to my collection from the months of June and July. So let me pass this subject off to you. What are some new figures you added to your collection this month? Have you managed to track down a Grail figure recently? Did you maybe score a great deal like I did with my HK droid or my Centerpiece Rey? Love hearing all about this stuff in the comments, so let me know down below and I'll get back to each and every one of you. I don't know what video we're doing next week because as the time of recording, that is 2, maybe even 3 weeks from now, and I do not plan that far ahead. But I will say that we are planning on hitting a few collectible stores on the way to Kentucky, so hopefully we will be recording a toy hunt along the way. In the meantime, however, I've been Grand Moff Tony. Those were the fine additions to my collection from the months of June and July. You may subscribe when ready. I think I just broke my neck. Oh. Now I picked...